How you doing, Waffle?
Doing fan fucking tastic. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm doing fan fucking tastic. Just living life, living it well. Um these last few days I woke up with a smile on my face, so that's really like I don't know how else to describe it. I'm just happy. I don't know how else to describe it.
Welcome to Little Talk with Lil Joey, and I am proud to have the owner, CEO of Rested Boxing, and his return was just on Breakout 04 New World Order. It is Waffle Taco Gamer.
Ah!
Let's
I'm sorry.
go.
I'm sorry.
No, I
Man, I
love it.
You're my first interview since the fight, so you're getting exclusives today, probably. I'm not
Let's
sure.
go. Let's go. Hey, and he's got the ball. Let's go.
I DM'd them on Instagram asking for a sponsor. They haven't responded, or else I'd be
Just gotta
above
go for it,
myself.
man. You gotta go for it. So let's talk about it, man. I mean, you had your very anticipated return on Breakout 04 New World Order. How did that feel, and kind of how did that fight kind of come about? Because it wasn't on the original card.
Right. So what happened was, I've always pushed for a breakout to come to PA, and I've always wanted it to be like in my hometown specifically. So I kept telling them, I was like, listen, breakout in PA. It would be so fucking fantastic if we had it here. I'll make my return in front of my home crowd. And you know what? Like that's something I really just want to do. That's something I really, really want. This is something that I need for myself. Um Going into like actually preparing for a fight camp and stuff like that, a lot of mental battle. I tell you what, a lot of mental battle. And it really, really like I've I'm telling you right now, I was the hardest fighter to negotiate with in breakout. And I don't know if I should wear that with a badge of honor because Lesra and Pat were getting easily annoyed with me.
Mm.
Very easily annoyed with me. But eventually I settled down on a fight that I thought, I just might as well do a fight. Originally, I don't know if you've seen this, but originally I was going to fight Trey Ingram on this event. That was my original fight. I was gonna lose a bunch of weight so that the weight shit wasn't too bad, and I was gonna go down like hella a lot of pounds. And I was gonna starve myself. Um, but what happened was Trey ended up having like some sort of like stroke, like a heat stroke or something, and Lesra and Pat both just pulled him out of that, being like, yeah, we can't have that. We literally
Yeah.
can't have that.
He
It
didn't
was
seem
for
to
his own
understand
safety.
that. Yeah.
So what happened was, I wasn't like too keen on promoting or too heavy on wanting to promote. So then I was just like, what if I was a mystery opponent and I got revealed at the press conference? And so then that's whenever we settled on Jacob Ney. And I had a friend of mine who was on the mystery opponent account. I'm not gonna say who, I'm not gonna say who, but they were tweeting out some crazy shit. And I was just kind of sitting back, training, doing whatever I can. And then 17 or 18 days away from the fight, uh, it was at midnight. I remember this so clearly. My friend from out of town came in. We were having a good time. Um, I just got done talking about some stressful things going on in my life to my friend, not including a fight. And then I get a phone call from Patrick being like, Jacob Nay's out. I'm not bullshitting you. This is a real thing. I'm not bullshitting you at all. This is like he legit pulled out. So then I was just like, well, fuck, I don't even know if I want to fight him anymore. Like, because two opponents now have dropped out, and I was just like, I don't know if there's anyone else that would really take. Like, I don't really know what to do. So then the next day comes, they're trying to find some people. I got a list of names, and then one stood out to me more than everyone else. And I think you already know Dennis Bell. As soon as I saw his name, I was just like, whoa, he's coming back to fight and he wants to fight me? Okay. Um, Let me think on it. And then I went to my boxing gym like on the 10th. It was a Wednesday night. And then after my session, I called up Lesra and I said, let's do it. Let's do the Dennis fight. And then I called Pat right afterwards and I was acting all depressed, being like, man, I really gotta talk to you about something. Dennis. And he goes, what about Dennis? And I'm like, Dennis. And then he just goes, like he just freaked the fuck out. Like he was screaming his fucking head off. I texted Lesnar later that night. And I'm like, is Pat okay? And he's like, motherfucker's out of breath. So, you know, that's how the fight came about. Obviously, condolences to Jacob Ney. He's going through some shit. He and I have actually been texting ever since then. I he's a really good guy. You know what I mean? And whenever he comes back, I'll be in his corner and I'll be there to cheer him on. So
Wow, what a crazy amount of events. I mean,
yep.
three different opponents, and they
Mm-hmm.
were they were all previously on Breakout.
Yep.
I mean, it was labeled the legacy fight, and what a fight it was. I mean, it was crazy. Just your walkout. Let's just start with your walkout here. I mean,
I love my walkout. I
Warriors
love
by
my
Imagine
walkout.
Dragons, one of the most perfectly cinematic songs that you could ever come out to, and you absolutely you not only was it just a walkout, you did the theatrics, you made everybody hyped, and you made everybody like amped up. I mean, I was watching that entire thing. I was like, "Let's go, Waffle!" I was so hyped. It was such a. I mean, that wasn't the song I was gonna. I didn't know what to expect for a song, but I mean, it definitely wasn't that, and it was pleasantly surprising. So, how did you come up with that? And was the walkout the whole thing pre-planned, or was it like kind of in the moment?
It was very much pre-planned. I've always in my mind I envision myself walking into these situations, and especially because the venue was my gym, I definitely got a good resemblance of what my walkout would be. So every time I would walk in and do my session for the day, I would always like start from one point and then like I would listen to the song and yeah, I've been wanting to walk out to Imagine Dragons Warriors for so long. Like I was gonna like back whenever I was doing my living room fights, shit like that. I was gonna walk out to that then. But unfortunate things happen and whatever. And then now I'm in this whole scene where things are a lot bigger and a lot more on a grander scale. But I've always wanted to walk out to that song, and it's because it just resonates with me so perfectly. Like I get to watch all these other people like fight and do all these other things, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do that one day, and I'm going to absolutely fucking kill it. I know I will. So that I mean, the whole first verse is literally it relates to me, and then the second verse, it's like you'll have to rise, like improve yourself, your spirit never dies, stuff like that. And that song just really means a lot to me. And I'm not gonna lie, I was riding on down to the venue with my mom and I played it for her. And then as soon as it started, as soon as I heard the first note, I started crying because I knew that what was about to happen was about to be very special. So, I mean, just that walkout was just all just amazing. And whenever I faced off with Dennis in the ring, like got right up in his face, I
Oh
was
yeah.
I was so ready. Like especially the timing of the music with like the guitar solo. I envisioned that moment for so damn long of me looking at my opponent whenever that fucking happens. And I tell you what, it fucking paid off. It paid off, man. And the ref was like, "Don't do that stupid shit." Like he was pushing me away, being like, "Don't do that stupid shit." I'm just like, no, I'm good. I'm good. Like, come on, let me do my thing. But nah, man,
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
amazing walkout.
I mean, it was your moment. I mean, I remember, yeah, that the guitar solo started and like it was just the camera got close and you could see you two face, and I was just it was like perfect. Like this is what SCB is all about. It really is. The
Hmm.
small creator scene is just bringing that theatrics, bringing that energy, and it was awesome to see. Um,
We were both out for blood. Like that, like I saw it in his eyes. He was like he wanted blood and I wanted blood. I mean, I got blood. I got the blood. So I mean, I made his nose a little pinata, but I lost, so I know my place.
Hey man, yeah, let's talk about the fight, man. I mean, what went into well, we'll start off with the first round, how are you feeling first walking out? And because you guys just started swinging for the fences like right off the bat. So was that the plan, or was it just like let's go full speed?
I was just like I mean, I was like I'm ready. I'm gonna go full speed. I don't care. Like I in my mind, I was like, this is like a ginormous task, and I just got to do what I gotta do. So I was just ready in there to just swing. I was just ready to go in there and swing, and I knew of in the back of my head, I knew of like opportunities and stuff like that I knew I could capitalize on based on the Trey fight, and there was some defensive holes in his game. Hence why they all call me Waffle Pereira now, with me swinging that fucking left hook over and over again. But you know what I mean? Like I knew what I was in for, and I was expecting him to be a lot more. This ain't knocking him, by the way. I told him afterwards this. I was expecting him to come with a little bit more force, I guess you could say, a little bit more force in his punches. Because, I was just eating them like it was a goddamn Cheez-Its box. Like I was just eating all of it, and I was just I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. Like I was just like I was taking his punches and I was taking them well. And my favorite picture from the whole event is me like in the middle of the fight with my hands down, and I'm like, come on, come on. I made it my phone wallpaper.
Oh, dude, that is so sick.
It's literally my favorite picture. But
Oh my gosh, that's so
um
cool.
I also knew, like, I in the back of my head I was just like, I want to go in there and win, but also I just want to have fun. I just want
Oh
to have
yeah.
fun. So that's where the showboating and stuff like that came, where I was like, I was sticking my tongue out at him. Fucking, I was up against the ropes in the second round. You see me go, ooh, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
I
Like
saw that. Yeah.
I was just having fun in there, man. And I think that's just kind of the mindset I gotta have for the next few fights that I have. You know what I mean? Like I mean, yeah, yeah.
So I mean, going off of that, I mean what you just said. So are we expected to see Waffle stay in the scene a little bit longer fighting?
Oh, absolutely, man, absolutely. Like I I told my boys, I was like, listen, man, this is most likely gonna be my last fight unless I catch the boxing bug. And I tell you what, right now, it was a goddamn mosquito. It bit me, and I'm just itching away, bro. That is probably the stupidest fucking like
No, I love
simile
it.
or metaphor,
I love
but
it.
that's literally the only way I could describe it.
Dude, that's awesome. I mean, everyone loved seeing you in that ring. I mean, I know, just between texting, like a lot of people in the scene, we were all ready to see you fight, and very
Hmm.
deserving too that you had, co-main event, not only just this being your big return, but also, your hometown and everything. So,
Yeah, I didn't want co-main event, by the way. I didn't want co-main event. I was originally gonna ask if I could start the beginning of the card, but someone already asked that earlier, aka Mr. Ant Miller, Mr. Belta asked. So, I couldn't, there was no other way to do it.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, like, so I'll even ask you this. I mean, there were so many crazy, awesome fights on the card. Did you have like, I mean, I know Zay's your guy. That was one of my favorite fights to watch. But was there any fights that, in particular, for
I
you, that were
loved
your favorite?
Texgay versus JDM. I loved that fucking fight, especially because I just know how much of a fiery ball of energy JDM is. I love Texgay, but JDM, bro, I just don't know what he just came in with different energy. And then whenever he knocked him down, like, or like whatever happened, like Texgay fell or whatever, I I I don't know if you could hear it on the stream, But I remember screaming, "Oh my God!" Like I could not believe it. I could not believe it whatsoever. Um, I also really like the tag team. I didn't get to watch it in person because I was getting ready in the back,
Yeah.
but I loved watching that. I loved watching my boy Brash get in there.
Oh yeah, you guys
Brash,
trained at the same gym, right?
yeah, yeah, and um, I mean, he talked to me yesterday about, potentially fighting again. I mean, I don't know if Breakout will have him back, but if they do, I mean, I would love for Brash to come back.
Oh yeah.
Especially against Anarchy, because Anarchy had to, you know,
Oh yeah,
but
gotta set up that
um
fight.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, those were the main ones that stood out to me. Um, my least favorite fight watching was Mark Flames and Intrepid. That broke my heart. Shout out Intrepid. He's a good guy, but Mark is he's my bread and butter. He's my
He's your
day one.
breakout boy.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's my day one, and it hurt me. And the worst part was I was getting into fight mode, and I was listening to a version of Kendrick Lamar's Meet the Grams that is supposed to be like a scary version of it. Because I was going into this like thinking like I need to like I'm going in there to kill. I'm going
Killer
in there to
instinct,
kill.
yeah.
And then whenever I saw Mark in the corner, just recovering for a second, I remember I was looking up at Intrepid, and in my in my headphones, I just hear ding 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 ding. I was just like I was looking at him so intensely. I was like, "You're fucking up my boy right now. You're fucking up my boy right now." And then and then I quickly snapped out of it because Jalen looked behind him. I was standing there just staring down Intrepid, and then he was just like, "Well, cut that shit out. You got to fight." And then I was just like, "Okay." And then I walked away. Shout out
Yeah.
Intrepid, but
I couldn't do it
we'll see
anymore.
what happens whenever you fight Lesra. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Lesra definitely shared his opinion. I know he hated seeing that too.
hmm
But it's setting up a great story for Breakout '05 or whenever that fight happens. But I
I
mean,
hope it happens. '05.
oh
I hope it
yeah.
happens.
I want to see that fight. Yeah. I mean, it was such a great event. And, me personally,
hmm
I wish wish things could have gone differently, but it overall just
In what way?
incredible. Me not pulling out and you not losing. But
Hey, listen,
besides,
I'm okay with losing, okay?
you
I'm
killed it.
okay
You
with it.
killed it. You killed it. There was no like, yeah.
I didn't care if I won or lost. I just wanted to get in there. I tell you what, I cried on so many people's shoulders later that night, not because I lost, but because I actually went in there and did it. Went through so many mental struggles, went through so many hoops and bounds just just so I can get in there. And then once I finally got in there and I felt comfortable, and then the fight ended, um, like I was just happy that I did it, and that was all that I'm happy about. Like Dennis is Dennis, okay? You know what I mean? Like I don't care about losing to Dennis because Dennis is he's a good guy. He's my boy. But you know, like on it, like in my mind, this was like a win-win because we get a legacy fight. Fucking, I'd get in there finally after so many trials and tribulations, and that like I get the respect of everyone. I've been saying I never lost, I won respect. But like that's what it's been for me. So
I love that. Yeah, no, I think no, that's a great way to look at it. And I personally, I wouldn't, me being the person I am, I get hung up on those kind of things like losing or just stuff like that. But just
mhm.
the mentality that you have is like it's awesome. And I I think a lot more people need to kind of see it like that. There's been a lot of people that have taken losses and just have taken it just really, really hard. And you need to. I think a lot of people just need to look at it as I got in there. It wasn't my night, but this is a stepping stone for me to gradually get better. This is only a stepping stone. It's not a setback. And I love that that's
Yeah, like
kind of the
I'm
mentality you
just
have. It's
saying, man,
awesome.
like whenever I go up against someone that is the same size as Dennis again. I'm obviously gonna like go back to that Dennis site, be like, okay, what did I do wrong? Like, does he have a sharp jab? Is he gonna keep hitting me with that jab? Is that jab gonna be annoying? If you couldn't tell, I learned a lot about jabs, but you know what I mean? Like that's literally gonna be like that's just how it's gonna be. So
Dude, yeah. And I'll switch topics for a second. Announcer of New World Order was none other than the CEO, Pat Typhlosion. And you were the announcer for O2 and O3. So,
mhm.
um, what was your opinion on how Pat did, and is announcing something you still want to kind of do?
Yeah, so I think Pat did really well. I think Pat, I think he's got that natural announcing voice. I mean, I do too, but you know, I think he did really good. I'm not gonna knock him for that. I think I have no idea how he did it and not lost his voice afterwards. Like, I had to do that for like 13 fights, and I would announce I I would announce the fights, and then after it would sound like this. You know what I mean? Like that's literally how it goes. But then he's just fucking in the middle, just screaming like at the top of his fucking lungs. And then I see him the next day, and he's just like, "Yeah, man, how's it going? How's it going, man? You doing good? Oh man, fucking sick, man." And then I'm sitting there like, "How the fuck are you not dead?
What do
How
you
are you
drink?
not dead
I need
right
to
now?"
learn for next time.
But you know what I mean? Like I yeah, like he did good. And my announcing days are not over. I'm not going to you know what? I'll give you this little thing right here. I got a message today. It says I don't know if you could see it really. It says dust off the suit, buddy. Time to ring announce. And I'm not gonna say where that's gonna happen, but you'll see me in the middle of the ring very soon announcing. Not fighting, but announcing. And did my lights just go fucking I swear to God, I just turned like more yellow. What the
A little
fuck?
bit.
What the fuck? I got that Simpsons fucking syndrome. What the fuck? All
Gave
right,
you
you
the
know what?
gave you
Hold on.
the cinematic Mexico filter.
Hold on. There we go. Would you look at that? Oh, would you look at that?
I loved your ring announcing on O2 and O3, and I love Pat's too, because both of you guys gave like such all like I hate to say aura, but you guys gave
Mhm.
off aura. It was such cool energy, and even
Who
with
was
like
better?
I ain't gonna say who's better because I don't have an opinion. I
Okay,
think you
you
guys
can tell
both
me
did
off
great.
camera. You can tell me off camera. I won't feel any type of way about it.
I will say though,
Just
you
as long as
both
you give me the right answer.
you guys both gave off very like Bruce Buffer vibes, and I loved it because you guys both got like the fighters amped up, and it was what an announcer needs to do, and you guys killed it.
I'm Michael Buffer, and Pat's definitely Bruce Buffer. So,
I like it.
you
I
know what I
like that.
mean?
Yeah, let's
What do
get
you
Yeah,
your
I think
opinion
I
on
think that's the best way to
just the
describe it.
growing aspect of the scene because recently we've had Vigilant MMA kind of come onto the scene, being able to provide some of these small creators with MMA fights. So, what's your opinion on that?
Um, Vigilant MMA is definitely I like what they do over there. I do like what they do over there. They're giving people opportunities. Um they're giving people that we don't normally see uh have those types of opportunities you know on their shows, stuff like that. Um the MMA fights, I'm not too crazy about the MMA fights. Trey Ingram and Augustin Seal, they broke my heart because I want to try to win that. Sorry, Augustin. But no, I definitely love what they're doing over there. Maybe one day, I already talked to the boys about it. I mean, not probably on the not on the next event, but I'm thinking about going on there and having a boxing match maybe one day. You know what I mean? Like I'm interested in Vigilant.
Yeah.
Like I don't see them as really competition. I just see them as doing like they're also doing what we're doing over here at Breakout. My heart belongs to Breakout. at the end of the day. So if I were to choose between Vigilant or Breakout, it would be Breakout all the time. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
one day I might hop on there, do like a boxing match or whatever. I don't have any names for anyone that is over there, but you know what I mean? Like yeah, I just love what Vigilant are doing, and I know there's a couple of people that are signed arrested that are going to be on that card. So, I'm looking forward to what they have going on next. So,
Absolutely. And speaking of rested, I mean, Zay got his first win on Breakout '04. So shout out Zay.
thank God. Thank you. Thank you. I
Uh,
did tell I did tell Zay after he won and after I lost. I went up to him. I was just like, "You fucking cursed me, asshole. You cursed me, you fucking asshole." Because if he won, then the whole rest of the card is fucked. You know what I mean? That's how I was thinking of it. No, shout out fucking shout out Zay, bro. I fucking love that kid. He's one of the best promoters in the scene. And I want to push him to new heights and stuff like that. I obviously won't hold him back if he does decide to, you know, go a different path. So, you know what I mean? Like, um, I'm happy that he fucking won. I'm happy that he won. But Slime, listen. I know you have your beef. I know you have your beef with Slime. But he's a nice guy. He's a nice kid. He's a nice kid.
Look, okay, I'm gonna say this, all right? Two things. One, I'm sure he's a nice kid in person. I'm sure he had to be a nice kid because he pissed off everybody. Um, but second off, I think he's kind of a victim of the piss everyone off and get clout easily kind of thing. And I mean, unfortunately, repercussions come with that. But
Right.
I mean, it is what I'm glad to hear that he was, nice with everybody for the most
Hmm.
part. And Slime, please give me my $100. I am waiting. Cash App,
I
Venmo.
have
What's the future looking like for Rested? Are you guys in talks with any new signees, or is it kind of like focusing on who you guys already have on the roster?
I have a couple of people in mind. I have to talk to my COO about it, which eventually that'll get out there. I'm not gonna say who. Um, Honestly, you could probably find out within like a couple minutes like who it is. But, you know, I would have to talk to them first about potential people that I want on. I just found a guy not too long ago. He seems pretty promising. He's basically like a carbon copy of Dennis, like weight wise and height wise, but experience wise, not too much. Uh, but nah, man, like I'm thinking about getting him. I'm thinking about getting some other people on there. I'm not gonna say names, but I'm gonna be cooking with Rested very soon. I'm also gonna be starting to do one-on-one interviews with all of the fighters on the roster, get some content flowing, get all that going, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna make sure that Rested is actually a respected brand, a respected promotion from here on out. And, reaching out to certain fighters and stuff like that I want to get on and I want to promote. You know what I mean? So, that's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so how does that process work for you? Because I know, at least for me and Starborn, I kind of just watch these the fights that are going on, kind of that's how we signed JDP pretty much was
Hmm.
being able to kind of watch these different events and see who's providing what kind of skills, who's been, promoting and stuff. So kind of detail me how you guys navigate those signings.
For me, it's content or you're within the scene. Like it's like if I like your content, if you're like putting out stuff that is actually entertaining, as well as having like several like yeah, numbers are also really keen whenever it comes to that. Um, like the guy that I want to sign, he's got like around 1,000, damn near 2,000. So I'm planning to get him very soon. And plus he creates content. He's not in the scene yet, but he creates content. And that's something I
Okay.
really want to like pinpoint because there's a lot of people in the scene. This I'm gonna sound like old Joey here, but fucking there's a lot of people in the scene who are not content creators. They just box, and then they expect to get on Misfits. They expect, they expect to be getting their Chase Domores and their fucking Idris Virgos, like just by having like fights. But like you also got to create content. That's literally like something important that you have to do.
It's like the
So like
basis of
it's
the
it's
scene.
creator it's creator boxing, bro. Like you can't just fight someone and then like not have like content based around it. So it's like, I mean, that's what I say. My process is I find someone, I'm interested in them, no Diddy. I'm interested in them like content wise and just as a person, as an individual. If the vibes are there, the vibes are there. And then I get them onto Rested. And I'm starting to do it in a different fashion where it's like a negotiations chat where it's like me, the COO, and the fighter, and then we just talk about like here are the benefits with getting on Rested. Here's stuff that we want to do with Rested, stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
if they agree to it, they're on. So it's like there's like a whole process.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys are going over it with a kind of great plan. So I like to hear that
Hmm.
because I know some people, I'm not naming names because I think there's for the most part, I think almost every promotion in the scene has done pretty well for itself in terms of, trying to connect with these fighters and creators. Um, so it is good to
Hmm.
see. It's really good to see. But I'll leave you with this, man. Is
Alrighty.
there is there a message to either a future opponent or just, anybody out there that you kind of like to say?
I don't really have any messages for anyone. I mean, obviously there was a call out at the end of the goddamn stream. Like I don't fucking care about that dude, so I'm not just gonna name him here.
Yeah.
Um, but he's gone radio silent. So again, I just can't give a fuck. And plus, apparently he's in a different weight class, although he's been calling me out for fucking years now. And then suddenly whenever it's back in his face, he doesn't want it. So, it is what it is. But any future opponent out there, I just went into the ring with a 6'2" Russian man and made his nose bleed. So you're pretty much fucked. Whoever you are, you're pretty much fucked. And I'm sorry to say that. Like I'm gonna work as hard as I can to make sure I don't lose again. I'm gonna work 10 times as hard, and you're whoever you are. I don't like you're fucked. I'm sorry. I have to do what I have to do, and honestly, man, like I have I have a new end goal in mind of like small creator scene, like who I'd want to take out at the end of it. But whenever the time comes, if it ever comes. So no Diddy. Uh, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna push for it like crazy. I have a name in mind. I have an end goal, and if I can take down that person, then I will. You know what I mean? Like that. I mean that's basically it. Future opponent, you're fucked. Sorry. It is what it is. I have to do what I have to do. Um, Minicon, you're still out there. I know you're still out there. You probably saw my fight. You know, you're not a Dennis Bell, so you know what? Just watch out. Um, I don't know who else to call out. I mean, really to talk about. I mean, there's Halal Ham. He became fat again, so I'll Halal Ham. Fucking hello, man. How you doing? I'm still around. Um, uh, Most Wanted. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I actually like Most. I actually like Most. Um, I like Most. I know Sean doesn't, but I like Most. But, you know what I mean?
Well, Waffle, I want to say thank you for coming onto the show. I
Of
know we had
course.
filmed an episode a while back, but it's
Hmm.
cool that we get to talk about a fight that you just had because when we did that interview back then, we were unsure whether or not you'd be boxing in the scene again. So I'm very
It
happy
was
to
up
see
in the
that.
air, man. It was
Yeah,
up in the air.
yeah. But dude, I appreciate it so much, and Everybody, don't forget to go follow WaffleTacoGamer on all platforms. I'll have him linked in the description. And don't forget, we do have the podcast on Spotify, and the episode will be up as soon as possible. Waffle, thank you so much for coming on. And until next time, guys, this was a little talk with Lil Joey.
Yes, sir. And Lil Joey ain't no bum.
Ain't no bum.
Sponsor me, please.